प्रियं शङ्करं सर्वनाथं भजामि। प्रचण्डं प्रकृष्टं प्रगल्भं परेशम् अखण्डम् अजं भानुकोटिप्रकाशम् त्रयशूलनिर्मूलनं शूलपाणिम् भजेऽहं भवानी पतिं भावगम्। कलातीत कल्याण कल्पा
The explosion of data.
Security is still the cornerstone of our business, but today,
I am Neha Pal, the project head of this esteemed conclave. It's my honor to stand before you all and as we embark on this journey of exploration and innovation. Before we delve into the conversation of insightful conversations, I would like to take a moment to recognize the driving force behind APAC News Network, our esteemed three co-founders, Souvik Goswami, Sangamitra Mohanty, and Gopi Krishna Arora. Them, along with a dedicated team of APAC News Network, is bringing communities together to create awareness on technology and innovation. With this, I request Mr. Souvik Goswami, the co-founder of APAC News Network, to kindly come on stage for his welcome address and setting the context of the PSU third PSU Tech Conclave. We welcome you, sir.
Thanks, Neha. Good morning, and I welcome all of you at the third PSU Tech Conclave organized by APAC News Network. We have eminent speakers with us for the inaugural session, and throughout the day, we'll be discussing on various aspects of PSU ecosystem and how digital transformation is being taken place in this ecosystem. And for that, for the inaugural session, the theme of the inaugural session is making Indian PSUs globally competitive in the era of digital transformation. And for that, we have leaders from the PSU ecosystem of India. Let me invite Mr. Novman Ahmed, Managing Director, HSCC India Limited on stage. A huge round of applause for him, please. We're also joined by Sri Manish Grover, Executive Director, Strategic IAS and IAS, Indian Oil Corporation Limited. I request Mr. Manish to come on stage, please. A huge round of applause for him. I request Prabhakar Vajpayee, GM IT, Airport Authority of India to come on stage, please. A huge round of applause for him, please. May I request Dr. Rajneesh Kumar Srivastava, Executive Director, Solar and PPS3 Bhavana, IPGCL and PPCL. Welcome you, sir. Let me also invite the industry leader, Anuj Kapoor, Vice President and Head of India Region, Iron Mountain, to come on stage, please. A huge round of applause for him. You can take your seat, sir. And I request Sangamitra Mohanty, co-founder of APAC News Network, to come on stage and kindly welcome our esteemed guests for the inaugural session. Where are the planters? Bouquet you have? We welcome Mr. Novman Ahmed, Managing Director, HSCC India Limited. Thank you so much, sir, for joining us today. We welcome Manish Grover, Executive Director, Indian Oil Corporation Limited. We welcome Prabhakar Vajpayee from Airport Authority of India. We welcome Dr. Rajneesh Kumar Srivastava, Executive Director, IPGCL. We welcome Anuj Kapoor, Vice President and Head of India Region from Iron Mountain. And I request all of you to kindly light the lamp for the official inauguration of APEC third PSU Tech Conclave presented by Iron Mountain. Can we have the lamp lighting also? Sangamita, you can also join us for the lamp lighting, please. I request Gopi Krishna Arora, co-founder of APC News Network, to join us for this lamp lighting.
श्रीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते शुभं कुरु त्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः श्रीपज्योतिर्परब्रह्म श्रीपज्योतिर्जनार्दनः श्रीपज्योतिर्परब्रह्म श्रीपज्योतिर्जनार्दनः श्रीको हरतु मे पापम् सन्ध्यादीपनमोऽस्तुते शुभं कुरु त्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदम् शुभं कुरु त्वं कल्याणम्.
Can we have a huge round of applause for the official inauguration of APAC 3rd PSU Tech Conclave? You can all take your seat and we'll start the inaugural session with the theme of making Indian PSUs globally competitive in the era of digital transformation. Thank you so much. Just to set the context of this conference and just to brief you about what APAC News Network stands for. APAC News Network is a community building, knowledge consulting media company. We are focusing on creating awareness on the importance of technology innovation for various sectors, be it governance, healthcare, education, startup, BFSI sector. And we are bringing communities together in this kind of knowledge sharing platform so that some discussion can take place, a concrete action can be taken on the ground, which can help in nation building and making India, a digital economy, a successful one. In that endeavor, PSU Tech Conclave also has been organized because we know that at this present time, the need of the hour is that the Indian PSUs embrace technology and innovation more effectively to be globally competitive in this age of digital disruptions. And that can also help Indian public sectors to overcome three challenges. One, I think, is accountability, bringing transparency, and increasing operational efficiency, with a special focus, obviously, on the cybersecurity landscape as well. I know the leaders from the PSU ecosystem are here with us, and they will be enlightening all of us on their vision on how the public sector in India can transform itself in terms of digital transformation. There are challenges, at the same time, there are opportunities. It's up to Indian PSUs to embrace technologies and innovation in that spirit to go to the next level. With this, I request Mr. Novman Ahmed, Managing Director, HSCC India Limited, to say a few words and share his vision on what HSCC is being doing in terms of creating that healthcare infrastructure in India. Over to you, sir. I think there is a small video of HSCC also. So can we have that video on screen, please?
So, dignitaries on the dais, colleagues, my colleagues from HSCC, and all those who are present on this conference, which is happening today, on a very, very important topic. So, to sort of set the tone for this kind of a conversation that we would be having during the day, I'd like to start by saying that, I don't know anything. And if I may say so very, very humbly, collectively, we all may know something, but individually, even you don't know anything. Okay. And being consciously aware of this fact that we don't know anything is the most enlightened state of existence. So let us have these conversations with the thing in mind that, whatever we already know may not be enough to sort of have this kind of a meaningful conversation. So most of the conversation here will revolve around the fact that whatever the PSUs have already done in their own individual organizations. I will also speak a few words about what we have done at HSCC. Before that, I would like to express a thought about technology which I have experienced over the years. Uh, we cannot, we cannot chase the technology. So if we start chasing the technology, we will always be behind it. So when we talk about cutting edge technology, we always have to be ahead of it. We must think 20 years down the line. Okay. So, for example, I tell my colleagues at HSCC that, we must, with the intervention of AI in healthcare sector, a lot of transformation in healthcare is going to happen, which no part of the world has ever experienced. The entire OPDs and IPDs will be virtual, and we won't require such big structures for hospitals. We may not require them, and it will be totally a transformation. So, what will be the form of hospitals of future? Can we create a prototype? So that kind of a prototype we are trying to create at HSCC. Secondly, we are into development of hospital infrastructure. Uh, if we, fortunately, we are into healthcare, and as you all know that healthcare together with IT provides the biggest business opportunity available on the face of earth. It is much bigger than oil, let me tell you. So what we have done is that we have transformed all our designs on building information modeling. We are doing virtual construction of buildings before they are actually constructed. So we have already created a model, a studio within our organization, wherein our architects work on creating virtual models of the building, which are given to other stakeholders like contractors to further develop on it. And then while planning the construction of those hospitals, we make look ahead plans based on those 3D models only. The benefit is that the clashes that happen between the services and civil construction can be detected beforehand. So it is not a state-of-the-art technology. This has been available for uh, almost 2-3 decades, but we have incorporated it recently. We have also developed a cloud-based quality monitoring software for our company, and we have, as all the PSUs must have done, we are working on a full-blown ERP platform, uh, which is a very, very routine thing to do in these times. So these are the things that we have done. We are further improvising operations of the company to most of it is happening through the intervention of artificial intelligence and various IT initiatives that we have been taking. So I'll not speak about all those initiatives as of now, because my colleague Mr. Nima would tell you in more detail during the day. Uh, I congratulate all the organizers for taking this initiative. It is a very good initiative, and once we get to know what we all are doing, it will enhance our knowledge, and it will instigate us to do more effort in overcoming the challenges that global market is posing to us. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Novan Ahmed, Managing Director, HSCC India Limited, for his thoughts shared with us. Is that video ready? Okay, as said that we don't have to chase technology, we have to think beyond that, and there is no other way. Also, at the same time, embracing emerging technologies. He mentioned about AI and kind of work ETCC is doing, and as he said that in the later half of the day, we'll get a detailed outline of what ETCC is doing in terms of building the healthcare hospital infrastructure, if I say so. So from the healthcare sector, let's shift our focus to uh, the oil and natural gas sector, and we have leader from the Indian Oil Corporation Limited. We have Manish Grover, Executive Director, Strategic IS and IS from Indian Oil with us. So I request you to share your thoughts in the inaugural session. A huge round of applause for him, please.
Very good morning to all of you. Thank you so much for this invitation to APAC. It's always a pleasure to come and share thoughts out here. I think the ball has been set by my earlier speaker in terms of hospital management. Just to start off, I'll say IOC will be embarking on that journey as well as we move on. We also run hospitals in IOC through our refineries and a lot of pharmacies, and this is one of the areas which we are concentrating as we move on. Now, to the more relevant things, I put my thoughts together so that make it more structured the way the topic is put up to us. Let me start by saying that the digital transformation public sector is not just about modernization. It's about leveraging technology to empower citizens, foster innovation, and drive sustainable development. And this is in the words of Mr. Nandan Nilekani, none other than that. So as we transfer this EPO, the technology advancements, often, what we call as decade today, India remains steadfast at the helm of innovation. And amidst this narrative of triumph, Indian PSUs like Indian Oil are a prime example who have embraced digitalization not merely as a procedural step, but as a profound force for transformation deeply embedded within our own organization. As custodians of India's public sector, we are resolved India's commitment to empower this transformative leverage the power of digitalization to propel our nation's industries to unprecedented levels of achievement. The story of digitalization in Indian Oil, if I talk a bit about that, has seen lots of leaps and bounds in the last across years with a digital first approach. And we started this journey, a very significant part of this journey started in 2019 with a project called iDrive, which basically stands for the Indian Oil's digital readiness and IT vision environment, which is committed to digital transformation journey at Indian Oil. And today we are covering about 225 plus initiatives which are spanned across the value chain that we represent, which is empowering our people and are making us more competitive across the globe. Let me start with GenAI. It is the allure which has been taken over us in the last year. So Indian Oil has intensified its efforts to unlock its potential. We just don't look at a technology and just embrace it. We try to make the use case and a business case out of it to solve our problems. So we have developed smarter assistant bots for HR, law, and operations team, along with tools like retail outlet reviewer systems and crude price predictors. Several GenAI-based projects like near-miss analysis, delay analytics for the project compendiums, and the chatbots have been deployed, which has resulted in enhancing our operational excellence across Indian Oil. We also conducted a company-wide hackathon, which garnered about 300 ideas, expanding the GenAI landscape with Indian Oil. So this is the way we try and generate business ideas from our own people, which we have done in the past with the mobility, we have done with the RPA, we have done with the analytics, now we did with GenAI. The next one is the sustainability, which I'll talk about a bit later. Now, as we know, the gap between the AI and the industry is narrowing, and the emerging technologies are equipped with our refineries to embrace the future with confidence. So through advanced analytics, leveraging AI and machine learning, We have pioneered the creation of digital twins for refineries. He was talking about buildings. We have done that for refineries. These digital replicas, powered by the sophisticated algorithms, enhance production and streamlining operations. So we have initiatives like refinery production schedulers, predictive maintenance for our FCCU, the heat exchangers, maintenance optimization scheduling, pipeline zoning, and tracking my complaints in the emergency cell through 1906 LPG trackers, and blending of MS with the ethanol. These are show the extensive utilization of AI across our organization. These projects truly exemplifies our commitment to riding the wave of digitalization, leveraging AI technology, and to propel us towards greater efficiency and readiness for the future. And in the recent years, we have embarked on a journey to use the power of video analytics, and we have tools like smart helmets introduced, which is leveraging the augmented reality to fortify our tech-enabled safety infrastructure at refineries. And moreover, like about 35 plus RPA-based tools, which have been implemented across divisions, which is driving productivity, efficiency throughout the organizations. So as we achieve our Panchamrit goals, tools such as flare monitoring, crude and shipping schedulers, and net zero dashboards, they will serve as a catalyst in advancing our commitment to the sustainability. These initiatives are embodying our dedication to fostering the safer, more efficient, and environmentally conscious operational network. We have always been in the forefront of innovation, and we are pioneering a lot of groundbreaking initiatives that have redefined the landscape for the industry. So in terms of the customer side, we have been redefining and reimagining the customer experience through electronic platforms like APAC and chatbots like Viva, which is a WhatsApp-based chatbot for predicting the LPG filling notifications, to NLP-based spec-based sentiment analysis aimed at enhancing customer experience at retail outlets. And we have delivery systems which is delivering more efficiency. And going forward, we are trying to get into something known as track and trace for our LPG cylinders, which will change how the LPG cylinders are being delivered through a QR code mechanism. And few of the other very marquee tools which will bring a marquee change in our company are the cascading dashboards, the integrated planning tool from crude purchase to the last drop I sell from ROs, and the tender management system, connecting with my vendors, and how do I track everything which I do, and procurement processes, and the data management platform which have been put up there. All these initiatives are also encompassed in our digital experience center, which we have created at IPM at Gurgaon. So Indian Oil strongly advocates that the data should be democratized, technology should be made available to everyone across the board. In that way, we anchor in the form of reverse mentoring and making all the things available to our employees through a very large change management process. So in a sense, if I say the Indian Oil's legacy of innovation is a testament to our unwavering commitment to shaping a future that is not only sustainable, but also infinitely brighter for generations to come in. So as we continue to chart new frontiers and push the boundaries of what is possible, we remain steadfast in our resolve to lead the charge towards a future defined by innovation, excellence, and unparalleled success. So the role of public sector undertakings in leveraging digitalization to enhance global competitiveness cannot be overstated. By embracing these tools and cutting-edge technologies, we are not only transforming the internal operations, but also positioning ourselves as a formidable player on the global stage. So as we know, we compete with China, we compete with many other countries when we go for tendering and buying crude, buying LNG. And with sub-digital assets, we are able to empower our people to, negotiate better when we are there. So these are the power of the digital technologies, and the tools like which I mentioned earlier, like IPT, will enable us to, bring better crudes to our refineries so that the producers are better and the GRMs are increasing. So as we harness the power of digitization, PSUs are poised to lead and charge towards a future defined by innovation and efficiency. So herein, I was just like to mention that recently on 1st April, we have launched something known as a Sustainability Hackathon, which is an innovation challenge across India for everyone, for startups, academia, which largely on the 6 themes, we are trying to seek ideas from the public at large, academia at large, which themes are based on sustainability, themes like supply chain management, themes like, the plantation management, the alternate energy, the carbon capture and management. And all these themes are subdivided into 19 sub-problems. So this challenge is open to everyone to come and share with us, and the brightest ideas will be rewarded handsomely. The awards have been declared, and we are going to close the challenge on the World Environment Day, the 3rd June. And we are hopeful that the best of the ideas will get converted to business solutions. So with these words, I'd like to thank again the organizers for inviting us and sharing my views here. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Manishji. When you said that for Indian oil, it's or PSUs overall in India, it's not about that, it's not procedure, but the technology innovation is in the DNA of Indian public sectors. You talked about how Indian oil is trying to play the role of game changer in terms of organizing hackathon on Gen More than 300 ideas have come out in sustainability. So that's a unique step, I must say. And also, that's also focusing on various problems and for which you can get answers again. And as you have said, that technology is really being leveraged effectively by the Indian Oil Corporation. I've been told that the video of HECC is ready to be played, so we can quickly play that video on screen, please. of you must have missed the text which was running here. The very first slide was of Mauritius. It means that SCC is not only creating world-class healthcare infrastructure in India, but it's going global, and that's the India story for the next decade. And I have a huge round of applause for HSCC India Limited, the path they have taken for transforming healthcare in India. I have been told that Dr. Prashant Atre, Executive Director IT, NHPC India, has also joined us. I request him to come on stage, please. A huge round of applause for him, please. I request Sangamita Mohanty, co-founder of EPSC News Network, to kindly welcome him with a bouquet. Can we have a bouquet on stage, please? And what a coincidence that, according to the agenda, is Dr. Prashant Atre's turn to give his speech. So over to you, sir, for your vision on making Indian PSUs globally competitive in the age of digital transformation. A huge round of applause for him, please.
Thank you very much. In fact, I would just like to introduce my company first of all. It is the largest green power company in the government sector.
Just, I think Mr. Novan Ahmed, Managing Director, HSS India Limited, has to leave for urgent meeting. So before he leaves, I request Sangamita Mohanty to kindly hand over a special token of appreciation from our end to Novan Ahmed, Managing Director, HSS India Limited. Can we have that on? We are felicitating Novan Ahmed, Managing Director, HSCC India Limited, with the Leadership Award. A huge round of applause for him and his entire team of HSCC India Limited.
A number of pumped storage schemes now are being taken up. We have the capability to undertake all activities from conception to commissioning. And right now, around the portfolio is around 7,100 megawatt, where the 11,000 megawatt projects under construction. And we have got an aggressive target of becoming 50,000 megawatt company by 2047. And a lot of projects are under clearance investigation, and maximum are now in pumped storage sector, because as we know that more and more solar is giving a big challenge in terms of stability to the grid. So the government wants that we need hydro so that we can have good amount of power when we have a peaking load during night or in the morning hours. So as we can understand, our growing business, in fact, requires us to have an aggressive target for digitalization as well. Our journey towards digitization began way back in 86, 87 when we deployed our mainframe computers and were having lot many applications in design engineering at that point of time. And we were using our in-house resources to develop software in finance, HR, and the supporting sectors. The challenge at that point of time was the communication. So we started the communication with our projects, which were totally remotely located in form of VSETs. Very little bandwidth was available and very high cost. So we used Citrix technology to just to add on to our projects to the center server. Then slowly, slowly, as the technology grew, we also grew along with that. We deployed MPLS networks through our BSNL and PGCL partners in power sector. Then we implemented our first ERP in 2007. We were also very keen to, apart from, because we were using the BSNL and data services of BSNL and Nixie. So we also built our own data center in Faridabad way back in 2020. And again, it is a state-of-the-art technology. So we use hybrid platforms. If another challenge came to us somewhere in around 22, then there was a massive flood in one of the hydro projects, and government wanted that we should develop the early warning system. So it was one of the real-time applications that we deployed and successfully running across all the power stations. We basically take the data from our automatic water level recorders, then use it, analyze it, you generate discharges, and we, in fact, through this application, we get a lead time wherein we can move our machinery from the sensitive areas and we can inform the downstream people about the forthcoming floods. Now, if we talk of the digitization leads of the organization, in fact, what we have just recently issued the orders. In fact, we are going for a big change in our ERP systems, and now it is going to be a SaaS-based ERP, along with a number of bolt-on tools, which will take care of our real-time monitoring of the power stations as well as the construction projects. So here we were lacking, so we have already started the efforts in that direction. We are more concerned about the plant health, so plant maintenance, predictive maintenance. So a lot of the new solutions is going to bring us a lot of AI, BI based solutions to us. Then, as we just mentioned earlier, that renewable energy, although we are going for big solar projects, it is becoming another challenging area. So many discoms right now want that the generating company should give them a complete solution in form of base load as well as peaking load. So we are also working on software solutions because we are also into solar and the hydro to give a combined solution to them. So it is once again a distillation effort which is being required, and we are working upon those things. Then slowly, as we know that as we are moving ahead, the IoT devices are going to play a big role. So the number is also going to double in just next 5-6 years. So we have also planned to deploy many IoT equipments, devices on the, even to monitor the work of our contractors. So these things will definitely help in coming out with the solutions because many times we pay a lot of money as claims to the contractors. So we are deploying dashboards so that their data can come and we come to know whether their pumps are working, where those dumpers are working, equipment is working. Because many false claims come and very difficult to just check manually everything. So this is one of the areas that we are already working. Now, when more and more business processes are going digital, so AI is going to, we expect AI to play a bigger role. So early warning system that we already deployed, we are using AI in that. And especially the RTM, when we are going to use it for operational projects, definitely it is going to bring a big value to us. Now, lastly, I would like to say that cybersecurity is another challenge, and we are constantly upgrading our systems and devices, adding more and more cybersecurity equipment, because ours is a power sector and it is a very critical sector. And almost daily lot of advisories are coming in. And I'm just coming from a program where something was inaugurated by very senior government officials, and we were there. So we have also, we are also planning to deploy many devices. I will not like to mean, because this is all confidential things. So this is one of the critical areas. And as far as the challenges are concerned, I have just mentioned, the communication in the remote areas is still a big challenge. And if we talk of the uh, bonding systems, even today, we do not have any mechanism to monitor the cloud bursts. We don't have mechanisms to monitor the avalanches. Just last moment, because you can get an idea that something may happen through satellite imagery. Main challenge is the power supply in the remote areas and the communication. So in any case, we have to fight for that, and we are going ahead with that. So thank you very much.
Thanks, Dr. Prashant Atre, ED, IT, and HPC India. As he has said that NHPC is India's largest green PSU, and they have their own data center deployed in Faridabad in 2020. And they're also focusing on newest technologies like AI and also IoT. But I think on the important points he has raised about the challenges, that's the connectivity. That's a problem. I think that can be addressed. We see a lot of industry partners sitting here. Maybe they can also shed some light on how NHPC and other PSUs who are talking about their pain points and challenges can address those challenges. Thank you so much. With this, I move to the civil aviation sector. We are joined by Prabhakar Vajpayee, General Manager IT from Airport Authority of India. Let's hear from him his vision on PSU's digital transformation. So if you can kindly speak for 2-3 minutes. Yeah.
Good morning, all of you. Thank you, Team APSC, for giving us this opportunity to interact with the uh, esteemed guests on the dais. It gives us an opportunity to interact with the leaders from hospitality, construction, hydro, oil, and of course, we are also from a specific domain of aviation. As you all may be aware that Airports Authority of India manages close to 150 airports in India. Our prime responsibility is not only to ensure that the aircrafts within our Indian airspace are managed safely, but also, our responsibility is to give a pleasant experience to our stakeholders, that is our passengers, while they are using our airports. So in that directions, as an IT, we are not only providing necessary tools to improve the organizational efficiency. We also provide tools to improve the passenger experience at our airport. And as the tagline of this event goes, making Indian PSUs globally competitive in the age of digital transformation, I think for us to go globally, if there was any right time, this is now. And why I say so, because government has created an ecosystem of support for us. We can leverage that ecosystem and then deploy necessary tools which improves not only our efficiency but also meets the expectation of our stakeholders. We have always been very innovative as far as rolling out the IT tools for the stakeholders. A couple of years back, we had rolled out a solution which is known as Airport Operations Control Center, which are the nerve centers of airport operations. While globally people were, operating these centers for single airports with a centralized database of one airport, we launched this system simultaneously for 6 airports, and afterwards it was rolled out to 10 airports. So we had a centralized database of 10 airports, which globally nobody was doing. In the recent past, we all know that COVID hit us very badly. but COVID also brought its opportunities for us as far as IT was concerned. Certain IT systems which probably could have taken, 5 years or 10 years uh, uh, for the stakeholders, we were forced to roll down within no time, like remote operations, web check-in, e-boarding, which I hope you all are, air travelers and must have used those tools. Last year, we have launched a very wonderful tool, which is known with the name of DigiYatra. See, globally, people were engaging doing the POCs uh, for having a touchless passenger experience for maybe with one airline or with a single terminal at their premises. But we started with this system at 4 AI airports, government airports, and 3 private airports. That is, 7 airports were made live with this DigiYatra system, which is basically gives you a touchless passenger experience while you are transiting through the airports. I hope most of you must have used this facility. Um, it's a very, very wonderful system. And I don't tell you this because I am leading this project. I am telling you from a passenger perspective that when you reach an airport like Delhi, in a jiffy, you can reach from airport entry gate to the boarding gate if you are having only hand baggage. And if you happen to travel with DigiYatra, you can just have an evaluation that at the manual gates, the kind of queues are there and how smoothly passengers who are using DigiYatra can transit through this system. So earlier when we used to propose projects, हम उसमें लिखते थे कि we'll have a state of the art technology, we'll have a global technology, world standard tools in our organization. अब जब हम लिखते हैं for DigiYatra kind of systems, तो हम ये लिखते हैं कि these systems are not available anywhere in the world. And today, these kind of systems are being, closely watched by global aviation players, and they also want to roll out these systems to their airports. So in a way, we are now showing the way to the world how to use technology for reaching out to the stakeholders. We also encourage innovation in our organizations. We have recently launched our revised startup policy. We look forward to engaging with the industry to bring out the solutions, cost-effective, efficient solutions, which can change the way we do our business. That is, ease of doing business should improve. We are also giving funding to the startups up to the tune of 5 crores. And our charter says that yearly twice we'll do this exercise. We may invite startups or we may do a hackathon whereby we'll come out with some problem statements and then from the industry solutions can come to our organizations. In the past we had done this exercise and I'm happy to share that we have got developed couple of products which earlier we used to import from outside and they were not meeting our requirements. They were not very flexible products which could be customized to our requirements. But अब जो product हमने develop किए हैं, they are not only cost effective in terms of features, they are much better than what was available globally. So with these words, I would like to thank again Team APSC and all of you for joining us in this event. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much, Prabhakar Vajpayee, GM IT AI. As he has started, when he started his speech, he said, this is the time for India to showcase to the world. You talked about that. It's not about only increasing operational efficiency, but also enhancing passenger experience. That is in the motto of AI. And also he gave example of DigiYatra app, which is, again, has been a game changer for flyers across the country. I'm sure many more airports will be covered under DigiYatra in near future. Thank you so much. With this, we move to Dr. Rajneesh Kumar Srivastava, Executive Director, Solar and PPS3, Bhavana, from IPGCL and PPCL. Over to you, sir.
Good morning. Dear esteemed panelists, organizer, APAC media, and my friends and colleagues in audience. The digital journey of India began long ago. And there were shocks which we felt, but we could not realize over the time as to like what is happening, and we could not like really realize like we are entering into a different age since 90s. You see, when internet came, I started digitizing my passport and other documents. When I first visited abroad, I mailed my passport to myself so that if there is any case of mugging or stealing or like losing my passport, at least I have a digital copy of that. So that that way we started digitizing. Then came Y2K, year 2000, and like all these efforts seem to be like ending and like vanishing in the air. But then we overcame that. I first realized the power of AI in 2007 when we were not aware of this terminology AI. I was booking a ticket to Korea, and I was like trying to book a ticket from my office, and I got certain rates. I could not book at that point of time. I went for a meeting or something like that, and when I came back, the rates have gone up. So I thought like, okay, I'll go home when it has already gone up. I'll go home and book the ticket. When I logged in from my home, I got the same rate which I was getting previously. But I could not like find out why the rates have gone up in my office, and then again at home I'm getting the same rate. So it was basically change in IP address. From the same IP address, if you keep on like looking for something, you get on different options. At the same time, you may get raised rates also. So that was the use of AI the companies were making at that point of time, which was like general people were not aware. So this is how like our digital journey started. Today, India has reached like I'd say at a very much advanced stage and has large digital presence across the world. And we are leaders in certain things thanks to our API stack, India stack basically. So with the help of that, like e-Aadhaar, M-Seva, and all these kind of like Arogya Setu, all these kind of services are available to us. And there are a lot of organizations like PCIL, ITI, BBNL, NPCI, STPI, CERT-in, BEL, CSC, NIC. There are a lot of organizations who are working in these directions and taking India abroad and getting our name in the like foreign landscape. For example, UPI is like India's initiative, which is being adopted in other countries. So this is what is happening, and like you see, you might have read in the newspapers that UP has found out 75 lakh host e-Aadhaar beneficiaries, like with the help of DBT. So they like the ghost employees have been found in MCD and other organizations. So this is the benefit of digitization, which we need to realize and we need to like adopt. So what we did, like an IPGCL, like let me tell you something about my organization. I belong to Delhi Genco, which comes under the state government, Delhi government, and we can only have gas-based power stations. We earlier had coal-based power station, which was shut down because of pollution reasons. So we have around 2,000 megawatt of gas-based installed capacity in Delhi. I am heading the largest power station, that is 1,500 megawatt gas-based power station, with the latest technology and most advanced machine, supplied by BHEL and made by General Electric. So what we have done through our digitization journey, in 2004 we entered into it as an organization. We implemented ABT software. the availability-based tariff at that time it came, and we were among the first organization who went for this software, and we earned a lot of money through that adoption. We earned a lot of money as a generation company with the help of ABT software. Then in 2008, we implemented SAP, and it was the fastest and most successful implementation in India, and we got SAP ACE award. So now, all our processes are digital. Even when we make a payment to a say vendor, he gets the notification that yes, the payment has logged in with this number. So it is not difficult for them to reconcile their payments and all. So these kind of digitization we have achieved. Then we commissioned these machines, which I am the power plant which I am heading. So there we have on-site monitoring system. We monitor the blade health, compressor blade health with the help of these tools. And then we also monitor the combustion dynamics. So what we see, when we talk about Indian PSUs competing abroad, so these things, online monitoring, like people sitting in US, they can monitor and they can give us the feedback that you need to do this to take care of this problem. Suppose there is some combustion issue, so they may we get the notification that you may have to check the cable, or you may have to change the probe, or there is some problem in the physical burner, so you need to stop the machine and something like that. So this is the benefits we are getting from the digitization. So now this Indian PSUs, we have BHL machines also. For the steam turbines are supplied by BHL, made by BHL. So in those machines, such kind of technology or say feedback is not available to the large extent. So there we can improve. So basically, we have traveled a lot of path in digitization, and now the time is for consolidation. So that's important. So what needs to be done? We need to get into the inner layer. We as PSUs, we have all implemented many things. We have got so many facilities with us. But what happens over the time? These implementations go rogue. We don't hone these. We don't train our employees. We don't hone our skills, and the skill gap create problems. So that needs to be done. We need to skill our people, upskill our employees, give them training, give them exposure, and mandate for them to attend certain trainings and implement carry on the things which have been implemented. Then the investment need to be done in infrastructure like cloud computing and the other infrastructure, IT infrastructure, digitization, so that and we should keep on with that. What happens once we do and then we forget? Don't forget. Keep on working on it, keep on improving on it. So there we lack. And then we need our regulators to understand. That is the most important thing. When we go with some proposal to our regulator, we don't get the clearance immediately. And by the time we go for in the implementation, as Mr. Ahmed rightly said, if we chase digitization, we'll never get it. So we'll have long term vision. So by the time we get approval, the thing is a thing of past. So that kind of education to be provided to even basically to our regulatory bodies, so that they go hand in hand with the PSUs and help them developing further. So there is a lot to be said on this topic, but I think I'll rest my case here. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Dr. Rajneesh Kumar Srivastava from IPGCL and PPCL. I'm quite happy that you pointed out this important aspect of skilling, upskilling and reskilling within the workforce of the PSUs, especially when it comes to the new age technologies. I think also another domain where we can focus is the cybersecurity front. because that's a reality, and we cannot shy away from that fact that how these cyber attacks are actually targeting PSUs, especially which are dealing with the critical infrastructure of the country. Thank you so much, Dr. Rajneesh Kumar Srivastava. Uh, Till now, we had the divergent views and perspective from the leaders of the PSU ecosystem, and now we have will hear the other side of the story. We have with us an industry leader, Anuj Kapoor, Vice President, Head of India Region, Iron Mountain. Let's hear his perspective. Over to you, sir. A huge round of applause for him, please.
Thanks a lot for the opportunity, and thanks a lot for some really wonderful insights on how public sector has really become more digital. I think I was mentioning to Sir, we are, as Indians, we are extremely proud when we go through an airport using Digi Yatra, and I have a foreign visitor with me and say, "Aap jaake line mein khade ho jaiye," because this is only for Indian citizens. But and you don't get this in in most parts of the world, right? So I think there's been some path-breaking digital initiatives that India has done. I'll take 2 minutes on Iron Mountain. We are a U.S. Company headquartered out of Boston, 70-year-old in heritage, 5 billion in revenue, listed on the New York Stock Exchange, 20 billion in valuation. And for 70 years, our oldest business has been in the physical space, where we actually store physical paper, physical backup tapes, fine art in warehouses in 60 countries across the world. And we are unique in that. And the physical storage still continues to be a requirement for a lot of parts of the world, including India. 50% of our revenues still come from there. But I think the movement is about moving from physical to digital. And I think that's the phase which a lot of public sector is today on. A lot of them are native digital as we go along. But as you move from physical to digital, you actually need them to coexist, and you need to be able to get data. And I'll talk a little bit about how that enables, how we can help AI get enabled with a lot of this old data. So other than physical storage, we obviously have a digital business, and that's where we, from a document perspective, we get into pure scanning to a repository, AI/ML based analytics, an intelligent document processing platform that not only does digitizing but digitalizing, which essentially means it extracts information from those documents. We help people move from tapes into digital, and then we allow for repositories. And we have almost every segment was represented here. While financial services is a big segment for us, healthcare is huge. I think we work with AIMS, we work with Fortis, Apollo, oil and gas. We deal with subsurface data. We are trying to work with the Directorate of Hydrocarbons to work with NDR 2.0, where we would have wells and seismic data being put in. So it moves from tapes, into very, you have huge archived subsurface data that is lying there, and that's got a wealth of information, including places that you can't explore anymore. If you go to Nariman Point today, you can't explore under that surface, but maybe there was an exploration done 50 years ago, and there's data lying there. And I think that is invaluable, and we work in that space. Other than energy, aviation, Sir talked about it. We work with airports, we work with airlines today. We help Hyderabad and Delhi airports. We're trying to work with some of the others in India. We do it for, globally. We work with a number of airlines in the aviation sector. So we actually help almost every sector with both our physical and digital. We also have a data center business, which helps with data residency, co-location. In fact, Neosoft is also a group company. We have a JV with them in a company called WebWorks, where we are now majority stake, and we have brand new state-of-art global data centers, standard data centers available in. We've just set up new centers in Bombay, Hyderabad, Bangalore. We already have Delhi, Pune. We were already there in Bombay earlier. So, and as you get into data centers and IT equipment, you cannot take away the environmental aspect of it. So we have an end-of-life asset lifecycle management business where we take over old IT assets as you do server refresh, as you take away your laptops and desktops. We repurpose them, remarket them. do the parts harvesting, do disposition where it's needed with a zero landfill kind of a piece. It's a very disorganized market or the unorganized market in India right now. And we do it. So everything that we do sits around 2-3 platforms. We are absolutely helping people move from digital to physical, from physical to digital. We are absolutely looking at data security and data residency in a very, very big way in everything that we do. 95% of Fortune 1000 are our customers, and all of them trust us with their data, whether it's in physical form, whether it's in digital form, whether it's in our data centers. And then environment sits across everything that we do. When we store paper, we actually recycle it in terms of shredding and pulp. When we do data IT asset disposition, we actually do that with the zero landfill green certificate. And when we do data centers, we are the highest consumers of renewable energy in our data centers. And even some of our warehouses today, we just announced our first warehouse in Delhi that is net zero, because we use solar and we use rainwater harvesting and stuff like that. So we actually bring it to net zero. We have e-vehicles that actually go and deliver documents and bring it in also. So a lot of thrust out there. Happy to be here. We have a team at the back there in case any interest in any more discussion needed. But definitely, as we move along, I think I do want to touch upon how we make public sectors more competitive. And I think while IT has been, so I've been in IT and telecom in India since the mid 80s, and we saw digitization come in a lot of public sectors, including banks, including pieces. But how does that make you globally competitive? If you really see, a lot of your historic data is lying in physical form. Okay. And when we talk AI, the AI is as good as the data you feed it. It's like a child. You give it books, they read books, based on that they get information, they learn, based on which they make decisions. Now, if all your historic data is not in digital form, then you are not going to be able to get the same level of AI capabilities that a lot of the Western countries can get, because their data was intrinsically digital much faster than ours was. So what we do is, to give you a pharma example, we recently helped a pharma company to say, hey, you've got a lot of data lying in our warehouse that is about your manufacturing records. And in pharma, even if there's one small mistake in a production group, it all gets rejected. So they were very keen to get a golden badge of what are the various ingredients that make you have a golden badge, and that example will work in almost every sector. And we were able to scan documents that were very, very old. They were even handwritten, and we have ability to pick up handwritten text as well, and we were able to build for them database. Then they used advanced analytics on to be able to get that golden badge. But that data was still available in physical form. It's lying in tapes and archives. We recently did a CSR activity where we digitized Elephanta caves. I was in Bombay launching that with Archaeological Survey of India. So if tomorrow Elephanta cave was to be restored, we have a 3D image of the Elephanta cave that has been created. We did it earlier for Mahabalipuram for one of the temples there. They have done it for Gateway of India, etc. So there are a lot of initiatives, that we do that keep historic data alive and is made available for use, in the future. And as we get more global as a world, and we are, I think PSUs, which were earlier meant for India in India, are no longer that. All of you are actually competing with the world. All of you are going. We saw hospitals being done in outside countries. We've now seen aviation sector go global. We've seen oil and gas go global, and hence we are here to help you to be not only competitive but to be first in the world. And I think one of the things that we are committed to in India is to build solutions and solve problems in India at India cost points, that can help you grow as well as help us then export that with reverse innovation to anywhere in the world. So very, very happy to be here. Thank you so much for making the time, and look forward to this whole day ahead. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Anuj Kapoor, Vice President, Head of India Region, Iron Mountain. As you have said, that making historical data, keeping historical data alive, and using them for future. That's how Iron Mountain is trying to make a difference worldwide, and they're ready to amalgamate their solutions with the Indian, keeping their Indian relatives in mind. And I'm sure that a lot of synergies can happen between the public sectors and the companies here in India as well, which can again showcase to the world that just like Digi Yatra, uh, those kind of innovations can be showcased to the world. Also, someone talked about UPI. Again, that's India's moment. And some say that the Ayushman Bharat Digital Mission is also going to be the UPI of healthcare for India's healthcare sector that can show the path to the world. Thank you so much. With this, we come to the end of the inaugural session of third PSU Tech Conclave, organized by APAC News Network. Uh, Let me also thank our other partners, presenting partner, obviously, Iron Mountain, gold partner, WhatsApp, and exhibitor, Newsoft. And both Iron Mountain and Newsoft has their innovation area there at the back of the hall. If you want to interact with them of the offline, you can go and visit their stalls as well. With this, I'd like to invite Sangamita Mohanty, co-founder of EPSC News Network, to come on stage to hand over a speaker memento to our esteemed speakers. Or may I invite Neha Pal, who is the project head for this conference, to come on stage and felicitate our speakers for the inaugural session. Can we have the mementos on stage, please? We start with Manish Grover, Executive Director, Strategic IS and IS, Indian Oil Corporation Limited. Dr. Prashant, Executive Director, come also. Yeah. Dr. Rajneesh Kumar Srivastava, Executive Director, IBM. Public sector. End of the inaugural session. Can we have a huge round of applause for all our eminent speakers of the inaugural session? of the third PSU Tech Conclave with the theme of making Indian PSUs globally competitive in the era of digital transformation. And from here, we move to the next segment of the conference. Let me invite uh, Anurag Uramalia, Regional Manager, PSU and Government, North India, Iron Mountain, to give a special presentation, a technology presentation. So I invite Anurag to come on stage, please. A huge round of applause for him.
Very good morning to all of you. I'm Anurag Urmalia from Iron Mountain. I look after state and government business, central and state government business for Iron Mountain. We're going to talk a lot about digitization, digital transformation today. So allow me to introduce ourselves digitally too. Can we play the video, please? Sure.
Iron Mountain was founded with a single goal: finding an innovative way to protect vital information and providing our customers with peace of mind by proving we understand what they value most. Security is still the cornerstone of our business, but today it's about a lot more than securing information. It's about transforming physical and digital content, unlocking meaningful business value and deeper insight for our customers, faster and more effectively. By discovering what matters most and leveraging the full potential of an overwhelming flood of data. And introducing creative, cutting-edge technologies like AI and machine learning that turn today's data challenges into tomorrow's business advantages. We're also securing a better future for our planet, significantly lowering greenhouse gas emissions through facility efficiency standards, and an unwavering commitment to green energy use across our organization, and helping customers achieve their own emissions goals, certifying that their information is securely stored in data centers powered by 100% renewable energy, ensuring the disposal of their retired IT assets is handling in a manner that minimizes waste and reduces their carbon footprint. Safeguarding assets, uncovering insights, transforming business, and helping to shape a better world. Iron Mountain.
Thank you. Probably the power of having anything digital. I would have had 15 slides needed to introduce Iron Mountain, but with this single video, I've introduced everything about us. So before I begin, I'll take your attention towards how do we elevate your work. So in today's scenario, I would definitely talk about 4 key parameters. If you see, digital transformation, workplace evolution, data and IT security, and sustainability. What is workplace evolution is simply, in order to maintain your BCP, even if you take the example of COVID, many organizations have adapted different work culture. Some of them have adapted work from home, some have continued with work from home and work from office both. Today, multiple organizations have adapted a hybrid model. How, it could be possible when you ensure that your data is encrypted, IT security are in compliant, and then at the same time, most of the organizations are today, they are not trying to become completely paperless. Rather, I'll talk about they are basically planning to become less paper organization. They still need papers in order to maintain the data synchronization with their digital content, but they are not at all completely transforming themselves into digital. They are keeping both the data. And of course, we do have our socio-cultural responsibility, so we always prepare the plan, a sustainable plan. So, since in this PSU event, I would rather focus more on PSU challenges, um, be it a PSU or any state or central ministry. What I have personally, observed that most of the PSU organizations are facing, they are having content in silos application. Some of their departments have adapted completely digital transformation. Some are still into hybrid model. Some are yet not ready to adapt paper transformation to digital transformation. And that is where multiple thought processes had developed multiple ways of keeping the data. And that is where couple of things emerged. I mean, the challenges wherein the manual processing intervenes, a lot of manual interventions are there. You find that compliant, some of the documents are not being compliant. Reason being, you are using silos application. You are applying, you do not have a one single application to integrate the entire system. One section is using one application, another system is using another application. And then once you have the disconnected data, you can never take the best output of your existing data. And that is where what PSUs are basically having the highest expectation from. What kind of a solution are they looking for? They would always expect that, let's talk about defense. I mean, even if you talk about their pension program, probably Spurs, you would always notice that one pensioner might have one single data, one service data available in Allahabad, but its medical is getting done in Lucknow. Some of the other things are getting done in Faridabad. So in some few other sections are working in Chennai, Pune, and in multiple places. How would a pensioner will get his pension on time once his data is available at multiple places? There are certain challenges which a pensioner might face. Widows are there; they cannot wander around at multiple offices. That is where. How about if a PSU has access from multiple location to a single data, and that is too, which is governed, which is compliant, which is absolutely encrypted and kept at a single repository. So that kind of a solution, probably PSUs, all state government, all central governments are these days looking for. And in such scenario, you need to look into the challenge with a single pane of glass. Why am I saying this? Because unless and until you understand that every organization may have multiple layer of challenges, and until you see this with a single pane of glass, you would not be answering all their questions. So before I talk about our products and solutions, I would take your little attention towards what Iron Mountain is. So currently we have approximately 230,000 clients globally. We have our global presence in 60 plus countries, and we have covered we have our touch base with 95% of Fortune 1000 clients. At present, we do have to offer approximately 90 million square feet and 1,450 facilities to offer, wherein you can keep your physical data with us. And that is where we are bridging the gap from digital to paper to media. I mean, whether to keep or bring your data from your location to my facilities, we offer the complete solution, and we are absolutely covering the gap, working like as if we are bridging the gap among all the digital and physical content. Why even not focusing when we are talking about globally, our global presence? I would definitely take your attention towards our our presence in India also. So at present, we have 70 facilities in 22 cities and in India, and we do have our client base up to 2,200 plus corporate clients. We are compliant. We are a CMMI certified company, which has ISO 9001, 27001, 45001. At present, we do have in India available 25 million cubic feet storage, wherein we are storing 3 lakh plus pieces of media storage. At present, we are digitizing papers, doing metadata entry, doing proper indexing, so that you can do the multiple hierarchical system, any kind of an integration you're looking for. We are at present offering you, have the capacity up to 300 million plus images, which we are scanning annually. We do have 6 data centers at present. So how do we offer a best fit solution to our customers? We first ensure that we protect, then we unlock the need, unlock the best fit solution, and then our customer transform their needs. So basically, any customer who's keeping his physical information or paper information, digital information, he's always worried about whether my information, my data is protected or not. So that is where we ensure all our data centers are also GCC and MITI impaneled. When we are keeping your physical data with us, we ensure that all the compliances are in place. That is where all the certifications we have already shown you are with us. Then we unlock the best fit solution to you, whether to offer you your physical inventory managing at your location or at my facility. We are into everything. Our record management solutions are offering you keeping your data, all across SBI, whether you talk about SBI, whether you talk about BOB, all PSU banks are keeping their physical data with us since ages, since we are in the market for, in India for almost 3 decades. And then this is how our, customers are transforming their information we are allowing them to digitize their content using their physical and digital data, and then transforming their workings, their daily lives, which is becoming easier. And that is where they are also ensuring their OPEX savings. I'll be highlighting 4 key solutions of us, which we are offering at the moment. The workplace solution, which I talked about, is basically the record management, wherein you can keep your physical inventory with us. We will be, not just keeping your physical inventory, but making sure that in order to bring your content from your place to our place, you do not have to worry about. We'll take care of everything. And at the same time, easy retrieval, easy access to your information, and that is too within the compliance. Then we do have 6 data centers. All our data centers are GCC and MITI impaneled. We offer you cloud storage. At the same time, you can also go for a co-location. Then if you talk about asset lifecycle management, of course, you can always remarket something which is not in use for you, but probably can give you the best price out of it. You can remarket your old assets. We can also help you disposing it. People might think that generating information is much easier, but disposing it quite easy. But that's not the case with any PSU, probably with any organization. They are much worried about disposing their data within the compliance. And that is where we come into the picture. Our ALM products will ensure that if you bring your data to destroy or demolish, we will ensure that, even the defense has digitized their 42 plus CRs of data, but they are still keeping their physical data because they do not have any option to how to demolish it, how to dispose it. That is where we offer them the best solution. And we ensure that if you need to dispose your data or remarket your old inventory, we'll help you out. And in order to focus on digital solution, I'll rather mention most of the organization these days are looking for advancement. They want to use AI, ML, magic. They want to apply multiple integration within the organization so that they can have a future vision also. And if you need to, whichever system integrator you will speak to, you would always find that they can always digitize, transform your today's working. But if you really need to have the best output of it, you would always need to maintain the proper legacy data, which is also digitized, which is also working properly, integrated, ingested within your system, and then only you would be getting the best output of your any application which you probably implement within your organization. And that is where Iron Mountain will help you the end-to-end solution. We will help you digitizing your existing paper data. Our solution will also help you maintaining the synchronization with the physical image with the digital image. Then if you wish to make it a robust search, we will also help you maintaining the proper indexing, which will ultimately will help you doing the filterization of your digital content, and that will help you making the best output of your data. So something which I talked about, the disconnected data will never offer you the best output or best analysis of your content. But if your physical and digital data is in sync, you can always keep the chain of it. You will always be able to better plan your organization, and it will be able to ensure less operational cost but better output. This is how our product basically work behind the scene. You could see that in physical records, no, we are picking the documents from your site using our vehicle machines. We are bringing it to our sites. Then we are ingesting it to our product, which I'll talk about in my further slide. And that is where applying the AI ML technology and offering you the best output of your existing data. The similar thing applies with your digital files and media. Could you play the video, please?
With the explosion of data across industries, many organizations struggle to classify, access, and make use of the full value of their data. Iron Mountain Insight is a cloud-native content services platform that helps organizations unlock insights with the ability to easily import, automatically classify, and seamlessly access and analyze information. While most information is now digital, many companies still have the need to access data in physical records as well. To uncover the value hidden in that data, Iron Mountain Insight supports data ingestion from a wide variety of sources. From paper documents to video footage, both physical and digital data sources are easily imported into Iron Mountain Insight. Machine learning-based classification and extraction is then applied, which adds structure, context, and metadata to the information to make it more usable. This allows users to effortlessly search for contracts, invoices, images, and more. Then organize the results as a collection that can be recalled instantly when needed. The platform utilizes both text and visual classification to enable features such as face recognition, as well as recognizing documents that are duplicates. Users can intelligently search across documents like spreadsheets, improve privacy, security, and compliance with the ability to identify and obfuscate sensitive information, such as PII, and control access, as well as apply appropriate policies. Users can even access relevant information for a given geographical location, all in just seconds. If you don't know what you have, you might be missing new revenue opportunities and cost savings. Unlock the potential of your information with Iron Mountain Insight. To learn more, please contact us today.
Thank you. So that's our solution, Iron Mountain Insight, wherein I just talked about. Organizations are not completely transforming to become completely 100% digital. They do want to keep their physical data and want to maintain the proper sync and trail with their physical image with the digital image sometimes. It has AI and AI ML technology also, which helps you classifying your documents, and that will only help you making the best results out of your data. So I would always mention that your information, your data, be it in physical form or in digital form, with our best fit solutions, we are ready to become and begin the new journey. Thank you.
Thanks for your presentation. I request Mr. A.K. Nima, GM from HSCC India Limited, if you can come on stage and kindly hand over a small token of appreciation to Anurag. Can we have a memento on stage, please? That was a technology presentation by Iron Mountain. With this, we move to the next part of the conference. An exciting section is going to happen. It's a fireside chat on elevate citizen engagement and outcome with the power of digital technologies. And for that, we have two eminent leaders with us from government and industry. Let me invite Golak Kumar Simli, Principal Advisor and Chief Technology Officer, Passport Seva Program, India Global, Minister of External Affairs, Government of India, to come on stage, please. A huge round of applause for him. Let me also invite Aditi Mathur, Head Business Development and GTM Meta, to come on stage, please. A huge round of applause for her as well. And I'll be playing the role of devil's advocate, the moderator for this session, so I'll be joining them there as well. Hello, hello. Yes. So, thank you so much, all of you, for joining us today in the third edition of APAC third PSU Tech Conclave. Till now, we had two exciting sessions. The inaugural session in which we had the presence of leaders from the PSU ecosystem. They talked about various aspects of how technology innovation is being embraced by the PSU ecosystem in India. What are the pain points? That was also discussed, followed by presentation. And now, here we are for an exciting fireside chat on elevate citizen engagement and outcomes with the power of digital technologies. We have with us Golok Simli. He doesn't need any introduction. We all know uh, what kind of work being done by Simli ji in last 25, 30 years. You talk about India's e-governance journey, he has seen it all. You talk about India's digital governance journey, he has seen it all. You talk about passport seva transformation, he has seen it all. I always hail him as a man of technology. So what better question than to ask him to start this fireside chat is your thoughts on the new age of digital governance in India and how digital technologies can be leveraged as an enabler to enhance the scope. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Sopik ji. Let me at the outset thank your entire team for having me here. I also greet my colleague here, Aditi from Meta. No, it's a wonderful day. In fact, the areas which we are discussing today, I think, to the kind of a cause, to the points where we are actually looking where governance is heading towards, where digital is heading towards. And as you rightly said, if you ask my opinion, saying that what is the next phase or where are we heading as a government at large in terms of these digital initiatives, in terms of engaging the citizens at large, in terms of which I typically say that how do I connect with citizens, how do I communicate with citizens, how do I engage them wherever they are, and how do I deliver whatever I want to deliver, whether it is a passport services, whether it is a income tax related form filing, whether it is GST, whether it is DigiLocker. So anything and everything, I think two, three, which very naturally comes to my mind is whenever we are dealing with masses at large, citizen at a scale, first and foremost thing comes to my mind is the democratization process I must follow. And that I call digital democratization. So whatever platform I use, whether I use a SaaS service from a cloud provider, whether I use WhatsApp from Meta, whether I use any of these kind of a applications or app, my take is I do not make any difference, right? In terms of, let's say, demography, in terms of geography, in terms of social conditions, in terms of those barriers of literacy, rural urban divide. And I think that is the major challenge everyone we need to address. When I engage with industry, when I engage with people like you, academia, research institution, how do you collaborate together, bring it a sense of kind of that kind of, whether it is technology per se, whether it is business sense per se, can I create that impact? And believe me, we are doing that. Whether I'm delivering a passport services, whether you are accessing a UPI app, whether you are accessing my DigiLocker, whether you are filing income tax, whether you are paying your GST services, these are proven facts, right? And how do we have achieved that? How do we have that scale, that difficulty? How do you made it simple? And when you make things simple in and use the power of digital, I think that is where we all need to focus in terms of when you are looking digital. Let me quote an example so that we can connect. Assume that I am delivering my passport information or let's say my citizen feedback and grievance through WhatsApp as tool, right? Now, can I tap, because WhatsApp everybody will have, almost maybe 1.3 billion people will all have the WhatsApp in their hand. If I say that, okay, more than 1 billion people have the mobile connections, so they will naturally have WhatsApp, right? So if I have this kind of a platform available, can I disseminate that information which I want to communicate with the citizens? Can I take their feedback, sentiments, suggestions and bring it part of my insights, bring it part of my policy decision making process, bring it improving my policy and regulations, analyzing my policy, whether I am effectively doing or not. All these things is possible today. The other very important area we need to look around when we are talking about engaging citizen at a mass scale and technology, vis-a-vis technology, the other important criteria is the business in hand. I have today, let's say I'm dealing with passport, somebody might be dealing with something else, but the gap which I observe, Sovikji, in terms of when we deal with various businesses or public sector at large or government at large, the information flow must be happening kind of a very seamless, right? Let me quote another example quickly so that we can connect. Assume that you apply for a passport services, and right from you apply for a passport services till you embark in the immigration and then you fly away. Can I make that experience very seamless? And once you come back again back to India, again that journey should be seamless. And this is very much possible, but imagine how much of databases I need to interact. Imagine how much of a interface I need to interact. And when I'm doing that, is that I'm violating any kind of data security, data privacy, no any time of a no other concerns in terms of data and business at large. So that is how I put it forward.
So that's the beauty of interacting with the Golakji, that he simplifies very complex things in easy words. Why I'm saying this, because you talked about simplifying processes. Sorry, again, it's part and parcel of technology. Anyways, so you talked about simplifying processes, streamlining processes, and also how technology can make life easier for governance, for citizen engagement or service delivery. You talked about it, and democratization of data and digital uh, governance as well. You gave the reference of WhatsApp also, and I saw Aditi was smiling when she heard Golakji talking about WhatsApp. So we have Aditi from WhatsApp with us from Meta. Aditi, you heard Simliji. You're also in the industry for many years. If I may ask you that, where do you see WhatsApp playing the role of game changer when it comes to digital governance journey of India? What can be done, or what is being done? How you can say WhatsApp fitting into that role of collaborating with government in that digital transformation?
Sure. Thanks, Souvik, and thank you and the team for having me here. It's a pleasure, and especially learning a lot from Golakji as well. So coming to WhatsApp, right? At WhatsApp, our vision really is to make interaction between users and businesses for their everyday essential needs as easy, simple, and secure as chatting with friends and family, right? You're doing a good morning and good night every day. It should be as simple as that to be able to pay your bills, right? Book a metro ticket. And over the last few years, right, with the reach that we have, WhatsApp is with 500 million Indians that are engaged on it daily. And actually 70% of them already are interacting with businesses every week. And they open their WhatsApp at least 30 times a day, right? With that kind of engagement and reach that we already have, we are uniquely positioned to actually help and support the public services sector to be able to provide a lot of these essential day-to-day services at scale in an equitable fashion. right? To many of the points that Golakji mentioned was how do you get this, how do you democratize these services? How do you ensure that it's reaching everyone at scale, right? And they're getting the same level of information. That's really where WhatsApp kicks in and is uniquely placed. And over the past few years, we've actually done a lot of this, right? We've actually made life-saving information available during times of the pandemic, during COVID, that many of us may remember. On WhatsApp, you could actually book vaccination slots. You could actually find out the status of oxygen cylinders and beds in hospitals. Right? And you can actually go and then when things were done, actually download your vaccination certificate so you could start to travel as the world opened up. Right? We also have made a lot of information accessible. So DigiLocker, the service that was provided by the government, is now available on WhatsApp. You can easily actually access those services, and you're empowered to safely and securely store your documents as well as retrieve them from the DigiLocker right on WhatsApp. Right? And finally, I'll say a lot of the daily things that people really require at the time of need. So it has to be very, very timely, relevant, easy, and fast, right? So things like, even when you need to know about welfare schemes, right? We've partnered with the Department of Maharashtra for Children and Women Welfare. And you can actually women can learn about a lot of the schemes available to them and a lot about nutrition, right, for newborns as well as for new mothers. So these are things that are being made available at the click of a button, just via chat. And as we say, right, bato bato mein ticket book karo, bato bato mein bill pay karo. So we really want to make that as simple and easy for customers.
So it's like, as Golakji said in his initial remark, that making things simpler and seamless. You're saying that WhatsApp is doing that, and WhatsApp can do that more with engagement with government and public sectors in India. Golakji, you have seen the e-governance journey and digital governance journey from the beginning. If I say, you have won many awards, both nationally and globally. If I ask you, because you talked about simplifying things, seamless process, and again, Aditi is talking from the industry perspective, how WhatsApp can help in making things simpler and simplifying. But if I come to the challenges in terms of citizen engagement, what are the pain areas or challenging areas you still think that those things are there when it comes to citizen engagement from the government or the public sector side? Your thoughts on that?
No, I think absolutely, like Aditi said, we all are discussing, saying that the problem, or say, I'll say opportunities. Let's say opportunities in India today is when you are dealing with, let's say, more
so you're
than
reversing problems to opportunity. Okay.
So I always look into that side of the mirror,
Okay.
not looking into the other side of the mirror. So if you look into the opportunity, let's say, talking about more than 1.4 billion people, and take for the sake of any sectors, whether I am talking about health sector, agriculture sector, any sort of a utility services, passport services, any of these things, the scale is massive. Now, when the scale is massive, you are talking about 1.4 billion people. The challenges we face is, one is wherever they are, assume that I'm accessing a government services from a remote village of Jharkhand, UP or Bihar. Can I get the same internet access which otherwise I will have, let's say, Delhi, Mumbai and Chennai? No, absolutely not. Then probably I'll look back to people like Aditi saying that, okay, Aditi, can you create a platform or Meta as a platform saying that, okay, I can provide a basic internet access or a affordable internet access to the rural hinterland and masses wherever they are, whichever devices they are accessing 24/7. And then I can latch on saying that, okay, now my services can be delivered there, right? The second challenge is the linguistic barrier. Assume a citizen from Northeast trying to access passport services, but he or she may not be aware of having understanding of English or Hindi or whatever the common languages we use or which we develop our applications, let's say, to provide services. But that poor citizen might not be knowing either Hindi, English, this and that. he or she may literally speak on their own local language. Can I really convert that into my business sense, give it back to the way she understand or he understand? Possible, right, Aditi? It's very much possible. And I can use this kind of a platform, WhatsApp kind of a platform, which he has to simply speak. And when I give back, again, WhatsApp will simply speak, saying that this is the answer for you, right? And that's how we get a passport services. Think of a health services, same example, any rural hinterland I'm trying to provide a health services. Can I make available my telemedicine services or the kind of, let's say, medical help I need to provide at that rural hinterland, the way the citizen is needing at that point of time? Again, possible. I can cut that time, I can cut that complexity in terms of making that medical services available, and probably I can also make the medicine and other equipment available there and there, maybe within 1 and 2 hours from my nearby hospital or any kind of a private hospital. Possible. So the challenge is for us is reach there wherever they are, make it so simple. Technology has to be simple. For me, I might not understand what is your AI, Gen AI, what is your Meta, this and that. For me, it's whatever devices I am carrying, can I get that services the way I understand, not so big you want to speak to me. I want to understand the language which I know, right? So that is the major issue. The other issue which all will face after the enablement of the DPDP law, which all should be very concerned, industry, government, academia, people like you. Let me quote another example so that you connect. Assume that a government has asked a Aadhaar card of a person's wife, right? Now the spouse is illiterate. She doesn't know much about what to provide, what to not provide. Her husband has provided the Aadhaar card on behalf of his spouse back to the government. Do you really feel that it's explicit consent given by the spouse? No, it's absolutely no. You are simply violating the privacy principle of the data DPDP law, right? Now, in those scenario, otherwise I should have made an app available for the spouse saying that, okay, this is what the government is seeking for. Are you giving your consent through your voice consent, let's say? Then probably husband could have given the Aadhaar card, but you simply give, right? You do not even ask with your wife while giving back the Aadhaar card of your wife. But you'll get into a problem, right? So we are heading towards a scenario where these kind of problems will hit us. And that is why I am saying that make things so simple, so easy that a illiterate or semi-literate persons or a senior citizen who cannot type or he cannot listen can speak, right? And then you convert it into an action or insight, policy decisions, data security and privacy concerns, and that's how you deploy.
Right. As Gulaji said that, so I think if I go back to from where you started, you talked about seeing challenges as opportunities, but at the same time, I think you're focusing more on that point from where you started, that making things simpler. Government, be it industry, be it academia, all have to come together to brainstorm on how we take these government services to the masses, to the citizens in the most seamless manner and simplest manner. And there you talked about 3-4 challenges, which I think Aditi must have just heard. So Aditi, your thoughts on that how you heard Bolaji talking about certain challenges. One is grassroots level connectivity and other things. Where do you see WhatsApp addressing those challenges to help public sectors in India and the government departments, be it in central government or the state government? Your thoughts on that?
Sure. Thanks, Souvik. So I think many of the points that Sir mentioned are absolutely true, right? And what we're seeing. The first one that he mentioned was the reach. We have all of these amazing digital services accessible and available, but we still don't have a standard level of reach across the country. So there exactly is where sort of WhatsApp can play a big role and has already started to play a role, right? Is because, like I said, it's an app that's in every household and is available to every person on their smartphone, is easy to use, and hence it has a lot of sort of like everyone is actually used to using that app as well, right? So it's very familiar. So the learning curve on WhatsApp is very low, right? Versus every company today is trying to create their own app, is trying to create their own website, is trying to create different channels to reach the customer. I think we need to flip it over, right? What has to happen is what we do at WhatsApp is actually have a very customer-centric design way of thinking, right? It's not about you build it and the customers will come, because that has a whole other challenge of like the learning curve, right? And they don't even know about your app yet, but actually going where your customers are. So identifying the channels that your customers and citizens are using today and building for that in order for you to get that reach, right? So for example, with WhatsApp, we are actually will be able to support the government with all their needs, right? So with notifications, with actually sending, creating awareness about the different schemes, with having chatbots that can address the queries. So to the second point of where you actually already have these AI generated chatbots in different languages. So but right now it's more textual in nature. So we have bots with like HDFC Ergo, multiple companies are already using it, where you can interact with the bot in at least 12 different languages, Indian languages. So this is where users can actually go in, select the language of their choice and interact with the bot. And the bot on the other end for the companies and for the organizations are a lot more cost effective, because you can actually program them in advance to send automated responses to these customers, right? So both ends of the spectrum can actually be addressed to simplify the experiences to some extent. And we are continuing to make progress. So as I look ahead, there's a lot that we are focusing on, right? With all of the ChatGPT, OpenAI that's come in, we also within India are focusing and working with many of these companies within India that are actually then using our Llama AI model to build on it, so that they're building for localizing Indian languages. So all of these chatbots in a few months or years can actually then not just be textual in nature, but also be voice enabled. So someone sitting in the hinterlands can actually speak to it in their own language of choice, and that will convert it to text, will give a response, and then a response in voice as well, so the person can understand it. Because we already have the voice enabled feature on WhatsApp, right? So the foundations are already there. What we are continuing to do is continuing to evolve and leverage everything that's now available and the technology in the market to build on the app, on the WhatsApp app that's the favorite in the market. All right. And finally, I think you of course alluded to a lot of the DPDP Act and ensuring that the data is safe and secure. So that of course is extremely critical and top of mind for us. WhatsApp, as you know, is end-to-end encrypted. We're constantly focusing and building to ensure building in advance so we comply with the laws of the land. And it's also global in nature. So WhatsApp's already there in Europe, right? So GDPR, etc. So as global teams are building on WhatsApp, they're keeping all of these data requirements, integrity items, etc., already in mind while building for it.
Right. So if I take a crux of what you have said, and by the way, when this service will be available, which you just mentioned that upgrading that thing, when it can be used in India?
So that's already in development right now.
Okay.
So we already have a speech to text. So actually we have a bot that should go live in the next few months.
Okay. That's interesting. So basically, again, Golabji, what Aditi said, that they have those solutions like voice-enabled technologies are there. They're also trying to integrate other things, again, to make things simpler. We have come to the end of the fireside chat, but I'll ask one more question to Golabji. Because you talked about that challenge that going to the grassroots level. And when we talk about going to the grassroots level, there's always a problem of digital connectivity. What's your thought on that? That how can we get rid of that challenge of digital connectivity in the grassroots level vis-a-vis using newest technologies? Your thoughts on that?
Absolutely. I think while we are talking about one of the biggest concerns maybe at the rural hinterland or remote area is the connectivity issue. But if you see the holistic picture, and let me summarize how when you look into technology, government services, because we are at a public sector unit event, government schemes, public sector services, product solutions, and other portfolios. One picture, if you can make very clear in our mind, the first, think of a PowerPoint slide, right? If I keep on the PowerPoint slide, the middle tier assume that my customer experience, you rightly said, how do I reach them? How do I connect them? The kind of transparency and accountability I'm looking for, the kind of data security and privacy I'm looking for. If I have to achieve all those things in that PowerPoint slide in the middle tier, what is that I need to address? I need to address 5 things. And first and foremost thing is I need to address, that is something I call workload. That is my business. What is the business I am dealing with? What is the business in hand? What is the government services I am trying to deliver? If I understand that workload, the second W is the workforce. What is my workforce? What is my user strength, employees, stakeholders, citizen as a customer? Do I understand that workforce? Then the third is the workspace. From wherever I'm delivering that service. Is it from a cloud? Is it from an on-premises? Is it from a kind of an endpoint device? That is the workspace I'm trying to deal with. The fourth is the workflow. What kind of applications I am using? Is it a WhatsApp application? Is it a web-based application? Is it an app through which I am trying to reach there, right? And last but not the least, we used to say web. Web is the most powerful device. Whatever I do, somewhere I'll interact with the cyberspace today, right? So if I understand those 5 Ws, trying to give those middle tiers, what is that I want to reach? I want to reach 4 things: speed, scale, security, and sustainability. It must be there for all time to come. And if I had to do that, let me go back to where I started with. I have to understand my data strategy. Unless I have a data strategy, and if I have to understand my data strategy, I must understand those 5 V's. From wherever this data is coming from, volume, value, veracity, variety, variability, unless I have this map in my mind, this technology, whatever platform I am trying to deliver to the user, to the customer, to the citizen at large, whatever product I am developing, whatever solution I am building, probably the end result which I am looking, the impact I am looking, the kind of sustainability over a time I am looking, the kind of partnership I am looking with the industry, I think everything will go for it all. That is the learning probably I carry, that is the experience we are carrying, and that's how we are trying to tell you. That's how I sum up. Thank you.
So the most important part is that we have to have a data strategy to reach to our ultimate goal of making things simpler in terms of rendering services to the citizen. And you talked about sustainability, speed, scaling up also as well. We have come to the end of this fireside chat. I'll ask the last question to Aditi. Aditi, you heard Golakji at length for last 15-20 minutes or so, and quite important points raised by Golakji. And again, if I take a synopsis of what he has said, the last part, data strategy, whether the government has the data strategy to implement various programs, and again, making things simpler and seamless. Where do you see that government or the public sector undertakings keep on reimagining themselves for future governance, and what role do you see organization can play in that in terms of enhancing the experience of citizen-centric services? We'll end with you.
So I think anyway, the future of citizen service delivery is going to become more outcome driven, right? I think that is key going forward. And outcomes really hinge on the experience that you're providing, right? So it all boils down to what customer experience is being provided as you're thinking of delivery of these services. We know through multiple studies that what the customers are looking for are things that are simple, easy, humane, secure, and relevant to them, right? So it has to be very targeted and relevant. And that's really, where the public-private partnership comes up and becomes extremely critical, right? I don't think one can really sort of do it without the other. And if we have to drive it at scale. So the way WhatsApp can anyway enable these and help is we actually provide, like I mentioned, a lot of different AI services. So we're actually going to be continuing to sort of enhance these. Because at the back end, it may sound complex, right? It's AI, it's generative AI, it's just the different tools that are going behind it. But for the customer, it's only going to simplify the experience, right? So when it's customer facing, it's going to be extremely simple as them speaking into a chatbot, getting what they need, and not having to go and walk into a service center and actually spend hours standing in queue to get the service that they require. They should be able to just do it on their mobile phone, which is with them every hour of the day, right? Secondly, what's important is for it to be very personalized and relevant. And is where sort of on WhatsApp, we're also building a lot of analytics tools and dashboards that will be made available, right? So as our partners implement chatbots for public services, for all of the different enterprises, they are equipped with a lot of these tools so they can mine and analyze your data and provide insights in a very targeted way, which can then be used by the companies and organizations to then send relevant information to the customer. Right, because as a customer, if I'm getting information about a car I don't want to buy right now, I will block them, right? But if you know that I have gone to your website and I was looking for a certain part of that car and you send me information specifically about that, is when I will engage with you and actually make that purchase, right? Similarly for the public services as well, right? So if I do want to pay my electricity bill and I don't want to remember what day it's due, if MP Electricity actually sends this today, they send a reminder on WhatsApp to say your bill is due, and they've seen significant increase in payments and collections. So the user will immediately make a payment and that can actually be made. So it's about targeting to know that this user's bill is due tomorrow and sending that message versus sending a message to everybody at the same time when the bill may not be due. Right. And then finally, I think that the third thing that we're looking at and continue to do is, of course, a lot of the, we have large integrity teams that are there at WhatsApp. So we continue to also do a lot of added controls on our side. So you would have recently seen Meta Verified or WhatsApp Verified that we launched. So that's actually a green tick that is given to businesses because we at our end do a lot of due diligence and verification at the back end and background checks for businesses. Because with digital transformation comes a lot of digital theft, right? Cybersecurity issues, etc. So at our end, we're trying to ensure the businesses that we onboard, from a customer and citizen standpoint, you have visibility that the green tick means that this is a valid business, right? Because there is a lot of theft happening, say, with UPI, right? Where you're having to transfer funds and that was not even a valid business, right? You're sharing your pins with others. So we continue to do a lot of these, tools at our end, but also a lot of awareness around, say, payment safety, around what features are available on WhatsApp, so that we're also protecting citizens as we equip them to get onto the digital transformation journey.
Right. Thank you so much, Aditi, for your input. I think Golokji wants to add one point. We'll end with that.
Yeah, just food for thought for every one of us. In my mind, there are 4 things which is going to haunt every one of us. First is the cloud as a platform. Second is SaaS as a service. Third is AI and Gen AI as a powerful tool. And fourth is, I come back again, have data strategy and data governance in place. Once you think around these 4 things, whatever you are doing, I am dealing with public services, somebody will dealing with a product and portfolio, these 4 basket is going to hunt you everywhere. If you have understanding a holistic picture of these things, I think your job is much more easier. Opportunities are plenty, as I said, and you can convert a challenge into those opportunities, those kind of benefits which we all are looking for. Thank you.
What a wonderful thought, food for thought, that converting challenges to opportunities and having those 4 pillars, if I say so, keeping in mind in which core is the data strategy, and the main aim and the sole aim is making things simpler. And I think that's where government, public sector undertakings, public sector units, and industry like WhatsApp can come together to make a difference, to make a better future. Thank you so much, all of you, for joining us today. I would like to invite Sanamitra Mohanty. Co-founder of APSC News Network. Sangamitra, I would like to invite you on stage to kindly hand over a small token of appreciation to our eminent speakers. A big round of applause for Mr. Golak Simli and Aditi Mathur for a wonderful fireside chat on elevating citizen engagement and outcomes with the power of digital technologies. Thank you so much. That's Golak Simli, Principal Advisor and Chief Technology Officer, Passport Seva Program, Minister of External Affairs, Government of India. Thank you so much, Golakji, for joining us today. We hand over small token appreciation to Aditi Mathur, Head Business Development and GTA Meta. And we can have a group photo together, yes. And with this, I would like to invite Mr. Rajneesh De, Consulting Editor of APSU News Network, to come on stage and take for the further sessions.
I think a couple of chairs need to be put there. Thanks, Shobik. And to continue with the proceedings of the APAC third PSU Tech Conclave, we now have an important panel discussion. It talks about the role of PSUs in the overall digitization of the Indian economy and the importance of new age technologies that is being played in that overall digitization process. We have a very esoteric set of panelists to have this discussion, and it's my pleasure now to invite the panelists on stage. I'd like to invite Mr. Anand Chandel, GM Value Added Business at Railtel Corporation of India. Can we have Mr. Anand Chandel and a round of applause for him? Next, can we have on stage Lay Smriti, Vice President, CSC E-Governance Services, India. I'd like to call on stage Mr. Debashish Shatpathy, Chief General Manager, HR, NBCC. Next, I'd like to call on stage Salman Mahmood, DGM General, Food Corporation of India, FCI. And for the industry perspective, can we have one more chair, please? From the industry perspective, I'd like to call on stage Mr. Anuj Kapoor, Vice President and Head of India Region from Iron Mountain. Everyone comfortable? To have a clarity of thought and the points of discussion, let's structure it in this way. I'll ask each of the panelists to highlight when we are talking about the digitization journey of your individual PSU, the organization that you are involved with. One major challenge, each individual, and I'll request each of you to stick to one challenge, the biggest challenge that you are facing in that overall digitization process in your organization. We will take the opinion of each one of you on the challenge. Then we would like to talk again, highlight on the strategic deployment part. Again, highlight on one major initiative that has been taken up, and we will try to conclude with a little bit of crystal gazing into the future roadmap of what are being planned. So I'll start with Anand first. Uh, One major challenge that you have been facing at Railtail uh, in the overall digitization journey, which you would like to highlight and maybe briefly mention what are the steps you are taking to mitigate that specific challenge. Over to you, Anand.
Hello. Yes. Good morning, all of you. Thank you, Epic News, for having me here. So, one of the challenges which most of the PSUs face is the procurement, and we are trying to solve it since long. And I think PSUs are continuously evolving to solve this particular problem. And because with digital transformation, we need to evaluate new kind of products, all innovative ideas. We have to incorporate those, implement those. So every day there are new challenges which are related to the procurement.
Okay, thank you.
Otherwise,
So
the intent and of the PSUs are to implement innovative ideas, transform the organization using digital tools. Thank you.
okay, so yes, obviously, procurement is definitely a key area, and procurement involves working with a myriad of suppliers who are outside the organizational ecosystem, so an extended ecosystem that you are working with. I would believe, before I come to the next speaker, the GEM portal, which was devised specifically to solve many of the issues related to procurement, has that helped to a certain extent, because now it's fairly evolved?
Yes, certainly it has helped. So there are, yes, PSUs are trying, even government is trying how to solve this problem. So I think this is challenge for all of us.
Sure.
So certainly everybody is trying to resolve it. Everybody is using different tools, different methodologies to resolve this problem or to solve this challenge.
Okay. Okay, thanks. So procurement is one of the key challenges. I'll come to you next, Lay Smriti, and ask you to highlight the biggest challenge that you are facing.
So, good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for inviting. So, the biggest challenge what we are having, or what I can say is a plus point for us, is I represent Common Services Center. So, we are catering rural India. So, when we say about rural India, definitely everyone might think that urban-rural divide. So, there are a lot of challenges. Initially, when we started, in 2006, there were very few CSC centers in the rural India. There were around 1 lakh CSC centers. But because of the, initiative that government has taken, because of, the internet that is available right now, accessibility, we have around 5 lakhs urban and rural CSC centers right now. The challenge is of accessibility. So we need people who will reach these rural masses, who will be able to, deliver services, because there are n numbers of services that government has provided them. There are a number of policies, initiatives that has been taken. Because of Digital India platform, there are a number of initiatives that are taken, new initiatives are being taken, but there is a gap as in how do we reach these rural masses. So there should be someone who could take these services to the rural masses so that they can be enabled, so that they can get their rights, they can get their, components that the government has given them. So what CSC does is we enable rural people itself. So a person, we identify a person in rural India or in a village who is from the village, who understands the requirement of the people, who speaks the same language, so that the understanding, the requirement is fulfilled through the CSC centers. So right now, what I can say, the challenge what we had has been an opportunity for us, because of the challenge of digital divide, because of challenge of accessibility, CSCs are at the corners of rural India, and because of that, a lot of services are being delivered to the rural citizens. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Here, obviously, you highlighted on the accessibility part, and I'll take it forward to couple of issues. One, as you mentioned, it's a vast and heterogeneous country, and the demographics are also very heterogeneous. So, when you're talking about accessibility, how do you ensure a sort of standardization on that accessibility so that a minimum standard accessible method is available for everyone? And one major challenge here is the connectivity, the quality of connectivity, again, across